can't stand most vegans. Sorry to say, vegans. You guys all
Now, I was raised as a vegan for many years of my youth, but my mother, as you know, if she loves you and cares about you, she may, give you some tips and tricks here and there, but she's never one to push any of her agenda on anybody, right?
Great.
But your average vegan, though.
I've had people comment on my post of a pig roast and me and my friends having a good time, and
right off.
You tell me that I can't celebrate Canada the way I want to, and I want to roast a pig. I didn't fucking tell you to come to my fucking pig roast, or I didn't shit on your vegan barbecue. Fuck you.
That smell of grass, fresh cut grass in the morning, is the smell of suffering. What it is that to put out a whatever of warning to its fellow, grass. I'm smoking it and completely butchering this.
Yeah.
But one of the defense mechanisms is it releases that beautiful smell or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
They say that that I don't know what they say. I got no articles that come to mind, but I've heard that
This is it.
The vegetables scream.
They do.
Or whatnot when you put them on the ground. Okay.
And vegans are okay with fucking up vegetables' lives. Plants can feel too. If you're allowed to do that.
But it's like this. If you're a vegan and you're still buying all your produce from the fucking Metro, fuck you. You're still part of the whole system that's fucked up the world, right?
Yeah.
Same as a dude who, recently for me, I want to get into hunting. And talking about that with my mother, she's like, oh, madonna. But for me, it's more so...
Hunting's a very different thing. If you're hunting and, using everything and,
Yes, I'm all about fucking, the nose to tail shebang, right? And also on top of that, my thing is...
make some gelatin, man.
I'm cooking 9 chickens.
There you go, make some stock, whatever it is.
Right?
Yeah.
But the thing is exactly that, 9 chickens right there, right? I eat, depending on the regimen that I'm at, I'll be doing almost half a chicken a day. And that's, however many lives a week. And I thought if I went for a fucking... Well, I'm not eating chicken every single day.
The critter count.
Listen, so my whole amount of chickens I'm eating all the time got me thinking, how could I eat less lives? So at first I was like, turkeys. First of all, they're rude birds. Pricks. On top of that... Oh, no, that's not fair. I've seen a little beautiful turkey video online. Sorry, fuck. Anyways, the idea of taking a larger species' life in a point of its life where it's just before they go down a road of suffering, whether it be through starvation or being hunted by another pack, I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in the idea of doing my work to earn that meat.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And also,
I believe if you can't look at that animal that you're eating in the face and kill it, and then butcher it, and then cook it, and then eat it, and be okay with it. If you can't do that, then you shouldn't be eating it.
I got you, brother.
You know what I mean? I've killed animals and eaten them.
Yeah.
And it fucking, don't get me wrong, the first couple times I've done it, it was weird as fuck.
Yeah.
And watching certain animals bleed out in your hands or whatever the case is strange. But when you reap the rewards of it and you see the bountiful, we made shit with the stuff we did, with the pigs we did, or the chickens or whatever. There was things that we got. We fed 20 people one night with a bunch of birds.
You're gonna feed. You're a provider.
It was a thing that we did. I was at a Canada Day barbecue a couple years back, and my buddy had a bunch of quail, and we slaughtered about 24 quail. I killed 3 or 4 myself, and let them bleed out in your hands, and we plucked them, and we marinated them, and we fucking barbecued them up, and they were delicious. And everyone ate them, and we all had a good time. And people who didn't want to be a part of it didn't have to be a part of it. The people who wanted to be a part of it, they were, and we all ate it, and we all had a good time.
There we go.
But if you can't do that, I don't think that. I don't think if there was a chicken head and a horse, or sorry, well not a horse, but a cow and a pig, and all the heads of those animals were hanging above each section as opposed to putting a word. If they were all there in the grocery store, nobody would eat meat, and the industry would collapse. And because people can't look at the head, people can't look at tongues. You ever go to the butcher shop when you were a kid? Even if you go now to a real butcher shop,
it's funny. The tongue is one of the more relatable pieces of an animal.
But you'll go and you'll see, and not just not to call out a sex, but generally you'll hear a girl or a kid, or someone be like, "Ew, a tongue, that's fucking gross." Yeah. And I know a lot of people, men or women, doesn't matter, who can't touch their meat. They just get weird about cooking it.
I know. They can't touch raw meat.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
I didn't know.
You can eat up a chicken wing covered in sauce and shove that shit in your mouth and have it in your mouth.
Yeah.
But you can't touch it when it's raw.
Dude, it's like that. It's exactly what you said. I feel as though if you can't kill, people will argue though, if you're not going to be able to kill it, but you still show utmost gratitude and compassion and this and that for the fact that it was killed.
I feel like
one thing, sure, but you're
okay
with it.
If you couldn't kill it, and you shouldn't be able to eat it, would change
the game,
the whole world. We would have no pollution, because I'd say a good 70% of people would be forced to find other means of protein.
Yeah.
Because they're not legally allowed to eat that shit. They should be put through a test.
Yeah.
Here's a fucking knife. Here's a pig.
Yeah.
Kill it. And then butcher it.
Well, okay, so...
You know, and if you can't do that without someone's guide, you obviously have guides with someone, but if you can't do that, then you're not allowed to eat
I haven't done that. When I had the restaurant, you remember me saying that was the goal.
Yeah, for sure.
In time was to do that.
You can go to certain places. You can go to a halal place. My cousin killed a lamb with his dad.
But like the idea is like, you know, I've never killed an animal. But the idea of having to do it with my own hands and not being able to do so, that idea makes me think that, you know, there's a possibility when push comes to shove, I might all of a sudden go down that vegan road.
Yeah,
I don't know for sure.
For sure.
I don't know for sure.
I mean, I get weird moments where like I'm eating certain things and like a vein or like a tendon will pop in my mouth and I'm like, puh, and I'm like, motherfucker. And then I don't want to eat it for a bit. Or like, you know, I'll eat something like I'll buy a bunch of meat and I'll eat something that feels like the meat has seized because it died under a stressful condition. The breast or whatever.
Gotcha.
It becomes tough.
Yeah.
And then I put that in my mouth, and I know that was not a happy animal, and I can't eat that shit.
But
and I won't eat. And for a while, like me and Olivia both, we won't eat chicken. We won't eat certain things because we have a bad experience with it.
Well, knowing where you get the meat from changes
a big
the
one.
game.
Yeah.
That's become much more popular, you know, here in downtown Toronto or whatnot. You know,
I mean, people should be. If you're gonna eat it, you should be willing to spend a little more money on it. But then that takes away a lot of the people who are poor.
Well, it's not to say that if you don't, you shouldn't, right? I think at the end of the day, what it comes down to is what I touched on before.
If you can afford to buy good quality meat and like give, you know, I don't know, back to those industries who are raising happy animals and good meat, then I say you should. I say you shouldn't be trying to save the buck on your food. I say you should be trying to support.
I know, and also the quality of meat is going to be better because the quality of life was better.
Yeah, for sure. Right? I mean, everything that's involved in it, they're happier animals, and you know. Yeah. But again, all these fucking companies say shit like that, and they're never really real. Like there's companies that are like free range chicken, and all they do is they allow the chickens to go out. But the chickens are too stupid to go.
I worked.
So they don't go out.
You see those videos.
Stay in the fucking
you see the videos where it's like, you know, like these are all free range and it's basically just a fence, like an 8x4 door, and the inside is a football field, and they have that as their outside time, right? Yeah. Now I haven't seen that firsthand, but I worked with someone who was a chicken farmer, and their family was chicken farmers, and what he said basically is like along the same lines as when you go to the factory and you'll see that can of beans go from being Theramar or whatever the fuck it is, and all of a sudden the next label just goes no name, and it's just the same can of beans just repackaged and sold for a different price. Whatever, right? That goes down with the eggs. Yeah, with eggs, it's like, you know, free run, this and that, ba-da-da. It's all the same fucking eggs. Yeah. When it comes to chicken, it's, you know,
depends on where you're getting it from.
Well, no, it's not to say like the place that's in a dark, dingy basement
like that
is called that.
Those burn break companies, for instance. Like all their eggs are the same quality, you know, but you can see the difference with eggs. Like the color of the yolk is like a huge thing.
Well, that's exactly it though. It makes me wonder, like, you know, I didn't get too much talk with him, and I'd like to have him on actually, and for this reason is that, like, you know, it was briefly touched on the idea of like of all those things being different. I mean, being the same, whatever, right? But I would think like because you notice the different sizes, it's just like an organization process. But for me, what I'm trying to get at is that it's kind of like a marketing. Yeah, is more so what it is, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything's marketing, right? A pretty label. Something that says certified organic, something that says that it's this or that, it'll be marketed and priced at by a different price point. You know what I mean? Like you can make it look pretty and sell it for 3 times as much.
Well, you know, that's the thing. If you're gonna take upon yourself to, you know, if you have the money, if you don't have the money, my thing is this: I do believe that if you're eating meats, if you're taking a life to eat, you should be grateful for it.
Yeah,
100%. I'm not saying, you know, you do your whole prayer thing beforehand, and to those that do respect, sure, but more so it's just an idea of like, if you're going to be eating it, have an appreciation for it. Yeah. The same as you do for anything. Have an appreciation for the water that's coming from your tap. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think that's the difference between a conscious person, or somebody who is
empathetic towards those around them or whatnot.
Yeah, like most good people generally do walk around with that care or that empathy towards whatever.
But I mean, that is
maybe
true.
Maybe not on
but
a,
you
on
don't
a, on
notice
a
it though.
Process. No, but
for
maybe,
food.
Yeah, but maybe not on like on an outer thought thing. But I think a lot of people do, like in themselves, like show thanks and appreciation. Like they feel it at least. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think most people go. I mean, maybe not most people. I don't think most good people and like is again conscious people who have pretty, you know, open minds and are a little more like, you know, forward thinking.